Hello, my Star Atlas people. It's me, the MetaVerse Explorer. I'm back on another day to update you on what's happening in Star Atlas. This episode, we have to talk about a new article that just got released by Star Atlas. We're going to be looking at some jetpack and some new videos that they've just released, which is pretty awesome. So, let's have a start to the day. I hope you're doing well. This is my Saturday at the moment. I got to go to work very soon, so I'm going to pump out this quick video. And then get to work, unfortunately. I gotta make that dirty fiat to buy more Star Atlas ships, you know what I mean? Yeah. So let's get to, first off, the picture of the week. We have from Mikata-chan. Mikata-chan. Oh, Mikata-chan. It's Japanese. Mikata-chan. Mikata-chan. Yeah. Anyway. Gorgeous picture here. We see him standing, or her, him, they, her, standing in front of what seems to be like a, like the pulsing gates. I don't know. Every other MMO or like every other sci-fi thing has a different word for it. So this is kind of the gates where your ship will start accelerating through it, and then it'll like pulse you through or warp you through to another sector or another galaxy, whatever you want to call it, right? So it's just like a multiple successive rings that when you start out, it slowly kind of pulses you, and reaches a escape velocity of the universe or like of the galaxy. You know what I mean? But obviously that's not what we're using it in Star Atlas right now. Maybe in the future, but not now. But these are the rings, this just to give you an idea. I don't know if we'll actually be using them in Star Atlas later. I hope we do, because that animation would be super fantastic. I just wish that. All right, Mikata-chan, thank you very much for the picture of the week. Now let's go to the, before we get to the video, which everyone is kind of talking about now, and which I want to talk a bit about, so we'll watch that video first. But before that, we're going to talk about the claim stake rewards that has just been released like a couple hours ago. So this is detailing all the rewards that are becoming for your Star Atlas purchases from the start sequence. Remember, if you bought some ships, if you bought some land, you're going to be getting some extra bonuses on top if you bought claim stakes as well. So the first thing is February 10th to February 13th. These will now be available for claiming during that time. I'm not actually sure if you will be able to claim after that time. It doesn't really say, right? It says targeted the rewards between these dates. So between these dates, maybe it'll just be claimable, and then it'll just be claimable for the entirety after that time. But if you're in Star Atlas now, right, you're going to go and claim it. You're not just going to leave it there and like not earn Atlas from the ship or like not use it as a claim stake, right? So the start sequence consisted of exclusive ship inventories sold on discount, a fraction of the Star Atlas space station residential land plots, and a batch of claim stakes. All needed resources for colonizing deep space planets. Let's go ahead, because I read this article already, right? I just wanted to show you what is coming for you. So these are rewards for Phase 1. So this is actually going to be called Opportunity Skin, applicable to any vessel. I read this and I was like, is that right? Because you were supposed to be getting ship skins for that ship, right? But it just says here, a custom ship skin of the ships purchased under the rules of the start sequence. So it actually says applicable to any vessel here, which doesn't quite make sense, right? But that's fine. For players who have already acquired one of the ships sold at a discount during the start sequence 2, another unit of the same spaceship is coming for you. Remember, if you bought like the Thimble Mamba from the team, then you're going to get 2 Thimble Mambas because you bought it at VWAP, which is like triple the price of what it is now. So when you bought one, you get 2 from the Star Atlas team. And that was their way to just say, yes, we know there's a really low price at the moment. Because why would people buy from the team for $1,000 when they can buy for someone else for $300, right? So in this case, you buy it for $1,000, you get 2, which is only $500 each. Better than the not as good as the secondary sale, but you do get some extra bonuses and perks on top of that. So that's just for the ship skins, right? Let's talk about this NFT. I hope it's not AI generated. I hope this is what the NFT actually looks like, and that you can start trading these on the marketplace right away, because that it should be a ship skin for you, right? And yeah, actually, I was gonna say I like having this as a ship skin before. I don't know how to say it. So like on your browser, or your game, when you have a ship skin, I want it to look like this, and then you get to open it, and then you get to look at it. I don't want you to look at the ship skin as a JPEG already, as a picture, and then you'll be like, oh yeah, I see. No, I want you to trade this. This is what I want. I want you to trade this, and then this will be traded in the marketplace. And then when you have this, you have that experience of opening the capsule and then a ship skin pops out, or like, you know, using nanotechnology, it assembles itself, you know, that kind of thing. Because opening this sort of stuff is part of the experience of being a gamer, right? You buy something and then like, you know, the dopamine hit when it pops open and then there's like something flashing or petals flowing by. You know what I mean? So I think it's a good opportunity to do that. But I'm sure the team already know how they want to present this and give it to us. So the claim stakes. If you did buy a claim stake from the team, not on the secondary market from the people who got it from the Rebirth poster, if you bought it from the team right now, you will be getting 1 mining drill of the same tier as the claim stake you acquired, and 1 power plant of the same tier as you acquired. Now, keep in mind, I think the mining drill and the power plant are going to be currently were and also currently is overpriced. That's what I think. Because I think we're going to have a whole bunch of people that are going to get airdropped this, and they're still not going to be able to use it anytime soon until Sage mainnet. Doesn't matter in DevNet. What is that? A year away, right? We're going to have massive down pressure on these mining drills and power plants because you don't need them in Sage to stake. You don't need them in Score to stake your R4 and get Atlas or resources from the R4 from the claim stake. I hope that makes sense. Let me just try and say it again. Just because verbal diarrhea, I just start going. Your mining drill and power plant are not needed for you to claim resources using your claim stake in Score. That's it. Okay, so because of that, I think we have all this supply still around, not doing anything. But I'm sure other people have plans coming along. They're probably like dollar cost averaging into it if it gets to a breakpoint price below it. Next item is the Goud Land exclusive interior paint. This looks nice. I wonder if that is the actual paint because it just looks like metal. I don't know if it's the outside of it. Nah, it should be the inside. The paint is a bit weird. If I had a house, I wouldn't want to paint it this color. Absolutely not. So it just says interior painting rights token. So maybe this is just the representation of your ability to go and paint your house. And this is just that NFT for it. Or the SFT. We don't know what it is. What else is coming? You get 1 habitat, 1 crafting station, 1 cargo station, all of the same tier as your land plot. So if you got a base tier, you'll probably get that base tier cargo. You get a CSS Hab 1, then you get CSS Hab 1 crafting station. So like it's a little tier above it. You get a landing pad if you get a landing pad of your CSS land. You get a spaceship if you get a CSS spaceship. And they're saying all of this, the ships will be tradable with limited supply only. So we're going to have very, very limited supply of these new ships on the market. The full inventory will be released for purchase at a later date with Gal Phase 2 returns. Oh man, Gal Phase 2. You remember how we had Gal Phase 1 and then Gal Phase 2? Jesus Christ. Yeah, man, jeez. Still, if they release Gal Phase 2 now, I'm not sure if people will buy those ships at VWAP. No way. Unless we have something. Depending on the tier of the land you acquired, 1 marvelous pet house to be placed in the land. But what's the use of a pet house if you don't have a pet? And the Tigu, I think, is currently going for 50 USDC, I think. And we have seen some animations of the Tigu already, right? So it's not that far off. They have animations already. I guess it's just putting it into the UE5 room. 1 imposing sculpture. 1 commemorative badge, and 1 custom ship skin. Of course, interior paint and exterior paint. Now, rewards to be available at a later date. So these are the rewards that are not coming right now. These are going to be the whitelisting for the physical plot selection in the central space stations and the commercial areas sales whitelists. So remember, you're getting the land, but you're also getting whitelisted for physical plots later. Immediately available for use in the faction fleet score. They're talking about the ships that are going to be coming out right now. Not only will you have, not only will they be available on the marketplace, but you'll be able to stake it in Score and start earning Atlas from those ships right away. So I'm pretty sure some smart people out there already did the calculations and saying, okay, this is an extra small ship, or this is a small ship, and I'm going to be getting this amount of Atlas rewards in Score. So I'm going to calculate that into the base price of that CSS land hab and see if it's actually worth it or not. I'm sure some people did the math out there. For me, though, it still wasn't worth it because you're not buying that ship, because you're not buying that CSS land just to get the ship. The ship and the Atlas rewards coming from it are just like a byproduct, just a small benefit, right? But of course, you got to think about it this way. Nothing comes for free, right? That CSS land tab already has the price of all the extras built into it. So I'm sure if they release a CSS land tabs without all the extra fluff, no pet house, no statue, no badge, no bloody ship, it would be a lot cheaper than what it is now, right? So they're just bonuses. Think about that. Everyone tries to upsell you on stuff, right? The claim stakes in R4 earnings and faction fleet, offsetting the cost of the ship, will be available in early March. Let's hope this. Remember, the team is not supposed to be giving us dates because the community gets disappointed. So early March, maybe. This is just my take from the team. It is pretty close to early March. What are we? Nearly mid-February. So like 1 month from now? Possibly. And that's, you should be able to earn our resources from the claim stakes, which is not bad in itself. And safety warning. Remember, none of this is going to be just dropped to your wallet. You have to go to the Play Star Atlas website to go and claim it on the website. Don't go anywhere else and go and claim it. We'll see if some people will bring up fake Star Atlas websites for them to go and claim so you can approve a transaction, then you get scammed. Just remember, if you have ships in score, you already have it bookmarked, use the same interface. Don't go anywhere else. All right, let's go to a small video that was released. This is the picture of the PG Metaverse is on me already. And Thor from the OCG Thor. This is an Opal Jet, but I told myself I wouldn't say the name of the ship anyway. So this is an Opal Jet. They're just going through some of the designing of it and having a look at the graphics of it and changing one thing that I didn't know they would be changing. I thought the ships were all exactly the same looking, as in physicality, and not the ship skins. But you can clearly see in this video here, he's changing the fins of the ship. Look right here where my mouse is, and you'll be able to see he's changing. Look at that. It looks totally different. You see that? That's a different shape. So what? I don't understand that. And that's the picture they took, obviously, with the different ship skins. Now remember I said the black on black is still my favorite. Maybe we can get a variation of the black on black. Yeah, you can see it totally changed. But I don't understand what that actually is. It is a stepping stool to get on. Is it just like a fin? Is it like a wing of a plane? You know, just to help it aerodynamically? Possibly. Yeah. So that's that. Just a nice little video for us to see. I wish they brought this up. I wish they actually had. They just went through like an hour a week and have an open design day, open design workshop, where one of the designers gets on for an hour, goes into Discord, and everyone can see and interact with him as he's designing something, right? I think Illuvium did this as well. I'm not saying we should copy Illuvium, but for me, that was super, super, super excellent. I went to go in and see what the design process is like. And when the community sees how long it takes, what you can actually do in 1 hour, they'll be like, yeah, okay, you're going to need days and days to even do one ship, you know? So the community just needs to... I don't know, like, just understand how difficult some of this stuff is. All right, let's go to the main body of this video already. Let's go to this video that they... the main body of this video, which is this video. So this is the video that was released by the Star Atlas team. There's a whole bunch of stuff in here, okay? I don't know if this music is going to be copyrighted, so I might be quiet. I don't know if it is copyrighted. I'll try and fix it, but let's see. So we're going to watch this video. It's 1 minute 33, and then we're going to watch it again in very slow motion, break it down as I see. Let's go. Music's good. Favorite part coming up. Okay, now that you've seen that video, I'm sure you have your own thoughts. I have my own thoughts as well. Let's start from the beginning. Let's play it in 0.75 speed, and I'll stop and we'll just talk about it, right? That's what I'm here for. We'll talk about it. So, first things first, this is the ground racing. Let me put it on play speed of 0.75. First off, ground racing. Fucking yes. We've been waiting for this, right? Ever since we had the space racing, I was like, it's a lot easier to just translate this on the floor. There's no 3D space you have to work with. There's literally left, right, straight, and that's it. And obviously you can see they've translated onto the ground pretty well so far, because we had seen some videos of this before. The gates are the same. They're saying this time you shouldn't be able to skip any gates. You have to go through all of them. One thing I do like, I love that it's not just straight. You can see the bike actually, since it's hovering, it's going up and being bumped by all the rocks or being bumped by all the grass and everything. So it's not actually fully straight. It's like wavy straight. So that helps with the immersion of it as well. Imagine this in VR. Very good. The drifting is still there. Now, this is the next part. Because they already have the functionality of the weapons built in, that same weapons can be translated to a ground race, right? So this is exactly what we're seeing. You can see a PSX4 kind of shooting at another PSX4 with the same interface as before. And it feels like they also fixed the sound a little bit. They changed the sound of the see that? A couple of things have happened just there. I'm going to rewind and we're going to watch it again. One, there's going to be a shockwave that actually hits you. Two, you can see the shockwave when it exits the vehicle that you've just burst out. And three, have a look at the flames and like the explosion that's happened. This is all the kind of stuff that they've been working on for a long time now. This is the pipeline they're talking about. It takes a while to do this, and the community doesn't see it until a video like this comes out when a guy on the internet starts talking about it. Okay, did you see that shockwave? And you saw the shockwave and as well as felt it onto the camera. Right now, let's play it again, you'll see. There, did you see that? That wave. That is awesome. That's going to be amazing. Imagine when you blast a ship that's like a medium or a large or a capital class ship. Holy crap. Now we get some extra pictures. This is the Thimble Unibomber. Not too bad in itself, just some coloring. They've done that before. Now this ship, I wasn't actually sure. It looks like... Have we seen this ship before? I don't think we have. Where does the pilot sit? Like right there in this thing? It doesn't look like it's right there. So yeah, I don't know what ship this is. If you guys know, let me know. It looks like a Pierce or a Visa's ship, right? It doesn't look like a Thimble ship, obviously. It doesn't look like an Ogrica ship. I don't think so. Yeah, maybe one of the new ships coming out. This is the, what is this? I think this is the Thimble air bike. As you can see, it looks small enough, and it's got those iconic, like gas, what do you call it? The rocket gauges at the back, the rocket fuel. You know what I mean, man. You know what I mean. Yeah, I mean, that one I'm not entirely sure if it actually is a render or if it's in gameplay. It's hard to tell. I didn't know they were this far ahead with the Thimble air bike. This is the PSR6. I'm not saying what ship name it is. You can see it's just giving us kind of, I don't know what the purpose of it is, just to land it possibly. So it seems like the side bit comes down and lands. This I really, really loved. This must be like a tool in UE5 or in Unreal Engine development mode. You can see here when you have an item where it's already painted, it's fine. And then you can apply a material age on it. And that's what he's doing here. Right behind me here, you can give it out of 1 what material age you want it to be. And you can see he's messing with it. He's going back and forth. And then you can see what the age of the actual place is going to be. So this can be applied to all the Thimble line, the entire Thimble line, which will make it so much easier to actually produce these ships. You don't have to go into zoom in and make this brown and then make a scratch over here. No, you just slide the slider and it's done. Of course, you have to do a little bit of more finessing, but you can see that it goes from directly clean to like old and faded. That's awesome. This ship, I wasn't sure what this ship was. It looks like a Pierce ship, of course. I hadn't seen pictures of this or kind of indications of what it could be. So yeah, let me know in the ship what you think in the comments. This could be the same ship. I don't know if it's not the PSR6. It is definitely a Pierce ship though. It does look bigger than a small ship, doesn't it? Maybe it's an extra It does look bigger than an extra small, so I think it could be either a small or a medium. I don't know what smalls and mediums are still yet to come out because we haven't seen pictures of this. It's not the thimble mamba because the mamba has this thing here and the fixed thing here, but obviously it's not a thimble. This is more shots of a Pierce. Seems like maybe an X4 or an X6 inside. There's a few extra things we could zoom in here, but that's okay. Let's keep going. Now, remember, I did the gun video not long ago, just like yesterday and like 2 days ago, I did the gun. And we knew that the gun artist was called Gan Gun from ArtStation. And he's gone ahead and done, he did the handgun pistol, and he's gone ahead and extended that pistol into an actual firearm, into a bigger firearm. And as you can see here, this is what it looks like. Let's pause here and let's have a look at it. Excuse me, I'm just going to scratch my eye. So first things first, it says Gan, obviously that's the guy who's making it. Long gun, shockwave, which is very interesting. And you can see here, the front of it, the muzzle looks like a giant. It's what I would expect of a shockwave gun because it's got a bigger nozzle rather than a projectile gun, which has a very small nozzle and shoots, like projectile out. A few things I thought, it does look very techy. It also looks very, very busy, like too busy. Look at this stuff here. All this stuff doesn't seem like it's needed. What are they? Maybe crosshairs? But really, this is a tech gun. It's supposed to have a red dot or something like that. Something minimal. I thought Star Atlas was going for that minimal fuel, but this is like, I'm not complaining. This is fine. It just looks very busy. Yeah. And we'll see. Guys, now this is where it gets a little bit exciting. Now, the jetpack. They did mention the jetpack a while ago. People were like, oh, we didn't know a jetpack was coming, and now we get a video of it. There are different methods of how they're using the jetpack in the Star Atlas UE5 dev mode. So let's have a look at the different types of them, and I'll give you my commentary on them. So this is the first one. They're just doing jumping, of course, and then they put a jetpack. So this one, the jetpack is located at his back. It's a very, very small kind of little techie thing, which to me is not good enough. I think they need to improve on that. It has to be a little bit nicer to look at because, of course, this is going to be an NFT. Okay, your jetpack has to be an NFT, and they'll be able to sell it, monetize on it, just like everything else they do, right? Just like an accessory or like a badge, it's another thing on your character. So obviously, individually, it has to look appealing for you to go and buy, right? Like 3D module, you have to go around it, all that sort of stuff. So this one, since it's directly on his back and nowhere else, you can see the propulsion actually just comes from his back and pushes into his torso. Because of that, he goes into the Naruto style where the hands are behind the back, and as well as the legs being backwards. And like he goes more horizontal, which is a fair style. We've seen this kind of style in other games. Fair, right? Let's keep going and see what the other styles are. You can see it looks very, very plain, right? Very, very plain. It just looks like a projector or something. I'm sure it's just beginning, right? They'll make it look nice, but they're just trying to get the movement right first. You can see it's the same thing. The landing, they have to work on the landing. I'm sure you've seen Illuvium's landing. It looks pretty cool. This one is like he just goes back into standing mode without any kind of landing motion. I'm sure they're working on that too. They have multiple studios working on this. You can see it just goes down. Now, this I'm not sure. Is this real or is this some kind of render, right? This does look very good. It looks incredibly smooth, probably because nothing else has to load. But guys, look at how smooth this is. And you can see this is a different kind of jetpack mode. This jetpack is located on the feet and not on the back. Okay, I'm going to play it in full. Look at how smooth that is. Goes forward, sideways. They've done a lot of the motions. You can see it's so fluid. So I don't know what gaming studio is doing this, but it looks great. One thing I did see in the corner here, it says FPS 0.3. I do not believe that. This is not 0.3 FPS. If it is, we'd have a picture. Secondly, this kind of backpack, this jetpack is now located on the hands as well. You can see there, right? So it's possible they might split it up into different NFTs for different, you can have different strengths of jetpack power on your hands, or they'll just be like one set. I generally like this style of jetpack more than just the back jetpack because the back jetpack is very meh. it's very meh. This is a bit more nuanced, is a bit nicer. You'll get a bit more flow on the different sides that you're pressing for your jetpack. You can see how incredibly smooth it is, right? So smooth. And that landing animation is much smoother. So I'm sure, I don't know if they have different teams working on this, but it's confusing, right? They have something in the showroom already that's a jetpack, but it doesn't look well. And then something else that's not in the showroom, but it looks incredibly well done. Okay. Now, second thing I wanted to say, there's a gun on this guy's back. So think about jetpack with FPS feel or like third person feel, and we're halfway there already, right? We're halfway there. This is that sort of same feel in the showroom. They've translated it there, but this doesn't make sense because you can see here that the jetpack is actually coming from his hands. This looks way too animation-y, like anime wise, and it looks too cartoony. There's no items on his hand to allow for this kind of maneuver, for this kind of jetpack to be coming from his hand. And yeah, like they've definitely got the animation going, and you can see it's a different stance when they're in the horizontal mode as compared to the backpack on the back, on the jetpack on the back. This is coming from the hands. So you can see his hands are actually out as a palm. It's hard to see here, but it's as a palm. And of course, he's using that to propel him. Now, yeah, like I said, what do you guys think about the jetpacks coming from the hands itself? I think it's okay, but they need to make it a bit more real. Like, it just looks so fake. Like he's hovering like as a god, and there's things coming out of his hand. Bit more real. I don't know how that is. Maybe add like a device that a wrist gauntlet or something. A wrist gauntlet, yeah, like a gauntlet that then pushes it around your hand or something, and then pushes it that way. Or something you wear in the palm of your hand so that we can see. Some kind of very powerful Fatali technology that will just start going like that. Also, I love that he's not wearing a helmet, so yeah, in space. And you see the landing animation there? They haven't translated the landing animation from the previous video to this video. So it's like there's two separate people or entities working on this, I think. That's what I guess. That's what I get. So yeah, that's the video, guys. Like, it's still pretty good. That ground racing is going to be very popular, especially when we can do tournaments. You can do a Thimble air bike tournament only, an X4 tournament. I'm sure people are going to be running this like for a long time. And that, I think, is actually in the at the start of the showroom, you know, where we had that long strip. Oh, the video that we saw before. Oh, that is amazing. Imagine having to do that against PvE. And like you come in for your daily race, like your, you know, the psychological part of gaming where you have your daily things, that your daily loot boxes that you come and collect, your daily kills, how many kills have you had in a week, you know, collect all the resources, that sort of stuff. Lots of avenues with PvE here. I'm sure the team is on it and they're thinking about it. Now, lastly, in this video, I'm going to tell you the Jeeves Bot is working well for me. So just to recap, people donated to me, itsme.sol, itsme.sol if you want to donate to me. I was concerned about putting my air bike on the score and using the Jeeves Bot, which is a tool by the club, to go and refuel it and re-ammunition it. And it's worked well, at least in the first day. I can tell because the daily rewards are 2.2, my pending rewards are 2.5 Atlas, and I haven't had to refuel it myself. So what I actually sent Atlas to the Jeeves Bot, and it ended up refueling for me. So I'm sure before it gets 30 minutes, before it's all finished, it will go ahead and refuel. Now, I did make a comment last time saying I wish there was a place in Jeeves that I could go and see my account and say how many times it's going to refuel for me or how many days left I have, whatever. Someone said in the comments in the last video that that's possible, but I went to the Jeeves Bot place and I didn't see anywhere. So I don't know where I go to see how long more I have or how much more Atlas I have in Jeeves Bot, because I know I sent 200 Atlas and that's going to take a long time to use up. But as you can see here, like there's nowhere to access this. So where do I access this if you guys know? Like, let me know in the comment section below. All right, my friends, that's it for this video. That is a very great video for Stararts at the moment. Lots happening still behind the scenes. I'm sure they're going to use this at least to try and get some more funding or more VCs on board, because the Stararts team does need some cash at the moment. All right, I'm going to leave you and love you. Thank you very much. Ciao.